Oh, silly.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. What's happening?
Thanks for stopping by today. We are going to talk about big tiny house advocacy news happening all over the country. If you don't know us, I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian, and we are Tiny House Expedition.
Like the shirt says.
Sure.
We are the creators of the docuseries Living Tiny Legally, and we live in a tiny house.
But we're not there right now. We're actually at my mom's house. We're helping her downsize. She's getting ready to move. But we have this really cool thing, a little live surveillance camera at our house. So look, check this out. That's actually our house right now in Bend, Oregon. Isn't that cool? It's mostly our bathroom, but you can kind of see it.
So we bring you on our channel literal tiny house inspiration and travel inspiration as well. Advocacy, news, and how-tos to help you achieve your goals to create a more fulfilling life in home.
Well, did you guys know that tiny house living isn't legal everywhere? Believe it or not.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hence, another t-shirt.
Legalize tiny. Yeah, if you've been following us, you're probably well aware of that. But due to restrictive zoning and building codes, tiny houses aren't officially allowed everywhere. I know it's nuts. Most of these laws are very outdated, but what's really exciting and encouraging is that there are advocacy efforts happening all over the country, mostly on the local level, to change this, to give more people the opportunity to live tiny legally without fear of eviction, and which will ultimately help everybody with financing and insurance. So today we're going to share 3 big updates from the last month that are happening in states across the country. So let's get into this.
Yes, let's do this, guys.
All right. So first we're going to talk about state of Washington, which has multiple state bills that they're considering right now having to do with various aspects of tiny house living. And the big one right now is State Bill 5383, which is all about tiny house villages. So what this state bill would do is it would allow cities and counties across the state to develop tiny houses in community settings without taking the liability risk, which is a big concern for a lot of cities. Liability means if you allow, kind of like a non-traditional or somewhat non-conforming structure, like a tiny house on wheels, that, your city could be out money if something goes wrong.
Yeah, totally.
Which is why they also include in this bill, like some safety precautions and building standards they want followed. But this is really exciting because really what it does is it says, hey, everyone can do this. And by the way, you can't discriminate against this kind of housing. So it's a way of making it easier to create these kind of developments. So what's up next is this has just left the committee and is now going to go up for a vote in the state house. And then from there, if it passes, the governor will sign the bill. Your help is needed. Do you live in the state of Washington? If so, you need to contact your representative to show your support. And we're going to include all the necessary links for how to do that in the video description. So definitely look for that after the video. So the leading advocacy group behind all these tiny house bills is the Washington Tiny House Association. And this is what the head of the association had to say about the recent victory where it passed the first big vote. It says the fight's not over. We have a floor vote where all the reps are going to vote yes or no. Then it goes to the governor. And as he aptly notes, tiny houses will not end homelessness, nor will it end the housing affordability crisis. But what it will do is be a big step forward for creating more affordable home ownership opportunities that fill gaps that are in the current housing market. So I hope if you live in Washington, you will contact your rep in your district to let them know you support this bill. Who doesn't want more charming tiny house communities, right? This one in the picture here is Tiny Estates, which is in Pennsylvania. All right, next up is Great Barrington, Massachusetts. So clear on the other side of the country.
That's a long way away.
They are looking at adding movable tiny houses, aka tiny houses on wheels, as ADUs.
Mm-hmm.
So what's super cool is this has already cleared the first big hurdle with the planning department, and there's been basically no opposition. So it looks like it's probably going to pass at the end of May at the town meeting. What's neat about this zoning ordinance is it would allow tiny houses that are licensed by the DMV and meet RV building code to be placed as dwellings in backyards and on farms as accessory dwelling units, also known as granny suites, ADUs, second unit developments. There's a gob of names. So what's neat is if this does go through in May, it will then go to the state attorney general, who, guess what, is the same attorney general in office who signed the Nantucket zoning law that allowed the same thing, tiny houses as ADUs. And she's a big supporter. She even said to the press that she feels that tiny houses are a good affordable housing option. So looking really good. And I think this is going to be what, number 7 or number 10 across the country. I'll get it right in the description below. But this is a hot trend. ADUs is like a ready to go option for tiny house placement today. It's super practical. So I really love that more cities are getting behind this. Okay, number 3, number 3 is one of our favorites.
Yes, Lake Dallas.
Woohoo! Lake Dallas Tiny Home Village in Lake Dallas, Texas, which is part of the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, is something that we're including in our film Living Tiny Legally Part Trace, which will be coming sometime in the future. We're actually waiting for things like the village to actually open.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice to get some video for you guys of this village open and talk to all the people that are in there and some of the, the other things that they had, the other problems they had before they opened.
Yeah, so what's amazing about this is it's the first community of its kind to be approved. It's a tiny house on wheels only community within city limits. So it's going to be an urban tiny house village. And it uses the IRC Appendix Q, which a lot of you might have heard about. It is for tiny houses on foundation, but in this case is being used for tiny houses on wheels. Basically, you build to this standard, which is in the International Residential Code, and then you're going to tie down your tiny house. So pretty groundbreaking all around. We're so stoked about this. It was like this dream come true development that was getting approved without a hitch. Then all of a sudden in February, not long after the groundbreaking ceremony, the new city manager decided, oh, by the way, guys, you need a grading permit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the developer's like, what? I've never heard about this at any other point. And I asked the city months ago if there was anything else I needed, and no one ever said anything about this. So long story short, it's an example of how one gatekeeper in the government, city government, local government, can keep something from moving forward. But you can't keep a good dog down, and the developer rallied support within the government and within the community and is back on track. Some of these obstacles have been removed thanks to the mayor. Thank you, Mayor. And now it looks like the community is going to open in June or July. So if once this next round of site plan review goes later this month, they'll get into some heavy duty development stuff like water and sewer and pouring grasscrete. Have you ever heard of grasscrete?
What is grasscrete? No, I'm assuming it's to make a really nice lawn.
Well, grasscrete is like, everybody Google this. It's like somewhere between like, instead of using just plain old boring like concrete, it's a way to make it like more attractive and softer by actually incorporating real grass.
Oh, wow.
I think.
That's cool.
I think I'm saying it right. Guess what, y'all? I believe there's one spot still open. So if you want to live tiny legally in Texas, you should contact the developer. This is kind of a look illustration of what the community might look like.
That's so cool.
And the sites are going for $500 to $550 per month, which is amazing.
That's great, yeah.
Because there's internet, cable, water, sewer, electric, on-site laundry, and plus we visit this town. You can walk to a bar, a coffee shop. It's pretty charming.
And if you have any kids, there's a school really close by, walking distance. So yeah, I'm so happy this is moving forward, and I hope that we get to see more of these in the future. Somebody's asking about Jersey.
Oh, so someone had a good question about what's happening in New Jersey. You probably know New Jersey is a tough state.
It is. It's super tough.
There is a tiny house friendly RV park that has a tiny house section, but for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it or where it is.
What part of Jersey?
I will Google it. I will also look through my notes, and if I find it, I'll stick it in the description below. Yeah, it's a tough state there. I think other people, I think there are some advocates there. So check the local meetup groups near you. And if you want any helpful documents to get a conversation started with your local town, we'd be happy to provide them.
Right. And remember that if you guys want to do any kind of advocacy, there might be a meetup group already in your state or even in your town that's already starting to do this. So get with them.
So like Lake Dallas had the support and help of the DFW Tiny House Meetup Group. And they showed up to every city council meeting, every planning development meeting to show their support. And that really made a difference.
That's what you got to do. Show up every time.
Totally. So if you want to know more about the updates that we talked about today and others, check out our Legalize Tiny webpage. The link is below. And of course, watch our documentary. Yeah,
absolutely. So we do have a question for you guys, a question of the day.
Yep.
And it's about these lives. What time of day would you like to see our lives go on Tuesdays? As of right now, they're going on at 3:30 Eastern.
Yep.
And we just want to see what you guys think. So in the comments below, put what time you think you would like to see, what's basically convenient for you guys.
And your time zone.
Yes, put your time zone too. Eastern, Pacific, Central, whatever it might be.
We want to find a time that works well for everybody.
Yeah.
And I know we work for ourselves, so we're like, yeah, 3:30 in the afternoon is great, which is much earlier elsewhere.
Right. Yeah. So it could, could be 6:30 Eastern or, earlier West. I don't know, something. Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for stopping by. If you appreciated this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned. Thursday, we got a really awesome tiny house tour coming.
Ooh, yes, we do. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. A lot of fun.
Christian is slaving away.
I'm editing it right now, so it's super fun.
And the cool thing is, it's one of our good friends who lives in Florida, who's also a tiny house advocate and does historical reenactments.
So some of you might know who that person is.
Yeah.
And that video is coming on Thursday.
Yep. We'll see y'all then.
All right. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for coming. Bye.